Then we used gel, and she started to put the gel from the roots to the end, roots to the end, roots to the end, and comb that through it. Once we've done that, then we put our clips, wave clips, at the point.
Yes, but we focus just on the hair and the scalp, yeah? So that's the main thing. We have more time than the dermatologist because you're going to come and see us privately, and we get referrals from GPs or we'll work with dermatologists. Conditions we see is hair loss, scaling conditions like psoriasis, and so on.
Just let it flow, we let it flow, oh, oh. Fearless, it's clear this man was meant to teach. Reach the deep cores of my body, the ice and fire that burns my hands like snow. I tell him but he already knows. With his love I breathe underwater, With his love I breathe underwater.
On the panel, Desmond Murray. He will be joining them on stage. And we also have Shirley McDonald, the trichologist who was us earlier doing her presentation. And we also have Rachel from UKnaturals. Please, if you wouldn't mind taking the stage, one of our fantastic bloggers. Put your hands together, please, for Rachel. And I've got to show some love to, my Cody, Elle from Natural Hair Daily. She will be going on stage as well to share her views. So please give it up for Elle. Thank you.
All of us have gone natural in the last few years. Before it was called natural hair, in the UK we really knew it as Afro hair. We picked up a lot of terminology from the US, and due to that, sometimes we don't really call natural hair what we would like it to be called, which is called Afro hair or curly hair. So today's debate is around a topic which has been online in the last few months called texture discrimination. Basically, what texture discrimination is, not based on my opinion, but what is known, is that when people like a particular hair type more, or organisations like a particular hair type more, due to saying that it's better than another hair type. So kinky hair, which is really Afro hair, or curly hair, or wavy hair. So today we're going to hear from our experts about, does texture discrimination really exist? What is natural hair to them, the definition? And all about celebrating our beauty from the inside first, rather than focusing so much on the outside. So first of all, we're going to hear from one of the hosts. Elle, can you give her a round of applause, please?
Thank you. So do I believe texture discrimination exists? That's interesting because for me personally, I don't discriminate against different textures. I understand there's a variety and they're all beautiful in their own right. But I have been aware of, there may be, and a lot of bloggers have highlighted this, where there may be a video of someone with kinky hair that may do the same style as someone with a looser texture, and they may not get the same amount of views or shares or anything like that. I don't think that's anything personal to them. I think that's to do with the people who are looking at these videos and their perception of what's beautiful. And that's for them to understand and to work out and everything like that. It's to do with the individual, really.
Thank you. And Desmond?
Okay, from a personal point of view and also from a hairdresser's point of view, I work for a lot of product companies, whether they're European or Afro or across the board. What I love is product companies tend to look at hair from a whole different point of view because obviously they want to sell their product at the end of the day, but they want to cater for markets, which is understandable. So years ago, I would say yes. These days, no. I think we're all catered for in every different way from a hair point of view. Again, from a personal point of view, earlier on I talked about hair and I talked about I look at hair like a designer would fabric, and I take each and every head on its own level. Like each and every one of us here, we've all got totally different textured hair. What I love is I take all the good bits. We've all got good bits, we've all got bad bits. Yeah? I take all the good bits and I run with the good bits and use them and work with that to achieve my end product. And from an overall point of view, I celebrate the fact that I can look at hair in a way that it hasn't. I don't label hair. I don't see hair as a colour or a creed or I just look at hair as hair as a fabric. And I actually love that because in this day and age there's loads of different products. So if you wanted to have, maybe if you've got straight hair for instance, you wanted to go curly, you can actually go curly by using certain products or by using a certain tool. If you've got curly hair, you want to go straight again, you can chemically do it, or you can, you blow dry it, use shampoos, conditioners, and blow dry again. So, I don't think, for me, I think in these days, I think that doesn't exist. But years ago, yes, I would say definitely there is some sort of, there's something there, yeah.
Thank you. And let's hear from UK blogger Rachel.
I do believe that texture discrimination exists. I don't personally discriminate myself, but I have experienced it. And the reason I say this is because people assume by looking at me personally that I'm either mixed with either Asian heritage or I'm not fully black. And for a very long time when I was in secondary school, I felt like an outsider in comparison to other black girls because I didn't have the kinkier texture of hair that they had. And a lot of times they would say to me, you're not fully black. So it made me question, well, how black am I, in a sense? But from that, and doing blogging, I still get that question. I've had that question today, am I mixed? What am I mixed with? Just because my hair texture is like this. And one of the the greatest things I can say from doing vlogging is that I get to talk to women from every single shade, hair texture, and I just wish that one day everybody understood how unique their individual hair is, and that we should stop comparing it to say that this hair is good hair or this hair is bad hair, because bad hair is unhealthy hair. Bad hair is hair that is breaking off and snapping off. Long hair doesn't mean good hair. You can have long hair and have thin, damaged hair. It all comes down to the healthiness of your hair. And when it comes to things like YouTube, you do see somebody, for instance, there's a girl that put a video up 2 weeks ago who is half Asian, half black, and she has very thick, really curly hair. She's got one video up on her channel and she's hit like 100,000 views in 2 weeks. Somebody with a kinkier texture hair who did the same video will take only 2 years to reach that amount of views. And it's most of the time down to people looking at things that they wish they could achieve with their hair, but they actually can't. And that's a problem. I think people need to stop looking at hair as I wish I had that person's hair, and understand what your hair actually does, because your hair does, if your hair is completely different to mine, it's not going to look like mine, and you need to accept that. So I think we need to start teaching people to understand what their hair can and cannot do, instead of saying your hair is bad hair so we can't do anything with your hair, because that's what a lot of the times it comes down to, as people are getting, I say, classed to do with their hair. And there's a lot of history behind that with slavery and stuff like that, but we're in 2014 and we need to kind of move forward from this and start celebrating each other's hair for what it does.
Shelley, what's your thoughts?
I think the hair works really well for hairdressers, particularly with products. I think they need to use it so they can see which products would work for you. But I'm with Desmond and I'm with you. I think it's really sort of outdated, but there's something inherent in all of us, well not all of us, but most people. They look at the hair and they sit in front of me for a consultation and they'll say, my mom's got good hair. Or they'll say, I've always had good hair, but now it's changed. So it's very difficult to change that mindset. And even when you're saying that, I'm looking at your hair thinking, I love your hair. I wish I had your hair. It's there already. I'm not going to lie, you know. I love your hair as well. I think that's what I've grown up on, and that's what you see. But, like Desmond said, and you said, if you can love yourself and love your own hair, then we're moving forward. Difficult though, especially when the people, I mean, they make these products and they know we're the main market, they know we're going to spend the money, but yet they're still not doing enough, I think, to get the styles that we need. It's getting there, but if you've got very tight Afro hair, we need more products that does more. But I think as well we need to experiment and just see, and it's our hairdressers that need to sort of take us on that. But the hair type of thing doesn't really bother me, as long as it's used by hairdressers when they're advising. I think they need it, but for me it wouldn't make any difference.